Conventions. The magical place where people that have the same interest gather to show if your level of interest is normal or full-on obsession. Hello everyone, I'm Rini Tinney, and I'm going to talk about my time at SACANIME! There is going to be a very special surprise later, so stay tuned. For those of you who don't know, SACANIME is an anime convention that happens in Sacramento, California. And they usually run around from Friday to Sunday, but I haven't been to any other conventions other than SACANIME, so I don't know if others stay longer. This is the first time that I ever stayed overnight at some place to go to this convention, because usually I only go for one day and then drive back home. I stayed at the Embassy Suites in old downtown Sacramento, which is basically the historical district where the Capitol building is. It was a bit of a walk to the event center where the convention was being held, but it wasn't that bad. We got to pass by the Capitol building and walk in the rain. It was honestly pretty nice. The Embassy Suites had an indoor pool that had a little too much chlorine for my taste, but they also had a free breakfast, which was really nice. We stayed at the hotel for 2 nights. We drove down Friday and then left Sunday morning, because we only had tickets for Saturday and Sunday. We didn't really have anything planned for what to do when we got to the hotel on Friday, so we decided to go to the IMAX theater nearby and watch Avatar: Fire and Ash. Little side note, I actually really liked the movie, and I keep seeing videos on TikTok about it, and so I just have to do it. My shake! Saturday morning, I woke up around 7 a.m. to get ready. I didn't cosplay or anything, but I would like to when I have enough money to get a nice one. After I was ready, we went to the free breakfast and they had a lot of stuff. Scrambled eggs, sausages, waffles, potatoes, cereal, yogurt, French toast. They had it all. My go-to was the potatoes and sausages with orange juice. Once we got breakfast out of the way, we walked over to the convention itself. Now the convention didn't really start until 10 a.m. and it was already 9 a.m. And we still had to pick out our wristbands that were in the hotel that was all the way at the other side of the convention, which was the opposite side of where we were coming from. So once we picked up our tickets, there is a small table with all kinds of free stuff to help you navigate the convention. There's a plastic badge that you get and it's different every time. This time it was Knights of Guinevere themed because most of the people from that show were there. You also get a small booklet that shows what artists are in the artist alley, what voice actors are there, what panels are happening and at what time, along with a bunch of other events that are happening throughout the convention. By the time we had finished getting our wristbands and cool stuff, it was about the same time the door started to open, so we rushed in as soon as we could. I was on a mission to see a specific voice actor because I had made a promise to a friend that I would get them an autograph from this particular voice actor. And that voice actor was Mei Hong. Mei Hong is the voice of Mira from K-pop Demon Hunters. There was a pretty long line because people with VIP passes get in before everyone else, but I was determined to get this autograph no matter how long it took. 2 hours later, I finally got the autograph. Saturday was pretty much a voice actor day for me because my cousin was coming on Sunday, and we had planned to go through the artist alley together. I then went to see Cassandra Lee Morris, who is the voice actor for Mualani from Genshin Impact, Tiger from Toradora, Kyubey from Madoka Magica, and the voice of many more characters. I got a print of Mualani for her autograph, and I took a picture with her as well. She was so nice. It's always so funny when meeting voice actors because you never know if they are doing a voice or if that's just how their normal speaking voice sounds. So it's always a surprise when you find out that the voice you've been hearing from a character you've been watching for 6 seasons is the everyday voice of a human being. I then went to go see Bryce Papenbrook. If you don't know who Bryce Papenbrook is, you're lying. I guarantee you that you've seen something that he was in. Bryce is the voice of Kirito from Sword Art Online, Meliodas from 7 Deadly Sins, and Inosuke from Demon Slayer. But Rini, those are all anime. I don't watch anime. Fear not, my dear listener, because he is also the voice of Cat Noir from Miraculous Ladybug. If you don't know who that is, I think you fell into the wrong target audience for this channel. Or you just live under a rock. Now, I had waited in Bryce Papenbrook's line for 3 hours before it was finally my turn. I was so worried that as soon as it was my turn, he was gonna dip to go to a Q&A panel or something. thank God that did not happen. Oh my god. When I got to his table, he had so many different pictures with all the different characters that he had voiced. I personally like to get a picture with multiple characters that they had voiced instead of just one, because it looks nicer to me and it really pays respect to each role that the voice actor has done. But sometimes voice actors don't have that. But luckily he did, and I got this print with his autograph and a photo. I have a bit of a rule when I meet voice actors. I always try to get an autograph and a photo with them. There have been times when I wasn't able to get a photo because I had run out of money, but I always get their autograph. Bryce was really nice, and while I was waiting in line for 3 hours, I could hear him doing his Inosuke voice. It would startle me from time to time because when he does Inosuke, he does a lot of yelling, and so the whole room could just hear either maniacal laughter or some violent phrase that Inosuke says. After that, we went to scope out the artist alley to see what I wanted to buy for the next day, when my cousin came down. I didn't have any sleeves for my autographs, or a bag for that matter, so I did stop by a booth to get one. Now, the 3 autographs, 2 selfies, art for a sleeve, the tote bag, and food, Saturday's total came out to be $332.60. On the last day of SACANIME, I met up with my cousin around 11. We walked around a couple of times just to scope out what we wanted to get for sure because we are very indecisive people. We found a vendor that was selling Love and Deep Space merch, and we saw these funny looking dolls that we had been seeing all over our TikTok FYPs. My cousin bought a Caleb doll and I bought Zane, and oh my god, you guys. This was my favorite purchase from the entire convention. This stupid looking doll brings me so much joy and so much dopamine. I mean, look at how could you not get a hit of dopamine just by looking at it? After we had bought our lads mains and kept walking around, that's when an idea was thrown like a brick at my head, as if it was a sign from God. Now, for those of you who do not know me personally, I'm a very impulsive person. Yeah. I'm an impulsive buyer, impulsive eater, and if I have an idea in my head and nothing is really stopping me, I'm probably gonna do it. Excuse me. Ugh. But here's the kicker to my impulsiveness. It always starts with an imagine if question. What do I mean by that? Let me show you. Hey, imagine if we got ice cream right now. Imagine if we went to SF for the day. Imagine if I went booth to booth asking different artists if they would like me to voice an OC in my next video about SACANIME. Once that idea popped into my head, I immediately went into my friend's group chat and texted, "Hey, should I do this? Would I be crazy if I did that?" Now, you know when you were a kid, your parent or guardian would be like, "If your friends jumped off a bridge, would you jump with them?" Now, my friends would be the ones cheering me on as I prepared to swan dive off said bridge. I was so nervous because it was, 1, an impulse thought, 2, I was actually thinking about doing this and was looking for someone to make a decision for me because, again, I am very indecisive. And 3, I was worrying about how badly everything could go. But then I got a reply in the group chat, and one of my friends said this: "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take." And that text, that one tiny text, is the reason for the rest of this video. And that was the green light for my impulse. Let's go! So that is exactly what I did. I went from booth to booth asking different artist vendors, "Hi, I'm a voice actor that makes content on YouTube and TikTok and was wondering if you would like to submit an OC for me to voice as a segment for my experience here at SACANIME." And while some did say no, and some weren't sure, which is totally valid. I mean, it's not every day a person comes up to you asking if you want to be part of their next YouTube video while you're in the middle of working. But on the bright side, some did say yes! I got to meet a bunch of new people, and they were all so nice about hearing me out till the end. So I got their Instagram and sent them my most recent YouTube video and my proudest accomplishment as a voice actor so far. Just so they know I'm legit and I wasn't asking for free art. I had gone to maybe 20 booths, and out of those 20, 16 gave me their Instagram. And then out of those 16, 4 of them got back to me with an OC to voice. Now, I'm not exactly the best at math, but I'm pretty sure that meant 20% of the people I asked were willing to give me a chance, which was so cool of them. This isn't to say that the artists who didn't get back to me weren't willing to take a chance. Some didn't see my message at all, and others were simply too busy, which is perfectly okay. Now, before I move on to the OCs, let me break down just how much I spent at SACANIME as a total. So Saturday, I spent $332.60. Sunday, I spent $15. So my complete total for how much I spent at SACANIME is $347.60. I nearly spent an entire paycheck at SACANIME, but it was worth it, especially the Zane doll. I love it so much. Alrighty, now for my special surprise, the OCs. I'm not going in any particular order this time, but I will put the Instagram of each artist like I did in my last video, so please go ahead and give them a follow. I also wanted to say thank you to all the artists who were able to be a part of this video. It made me so happy when I got the replies on Instagram, and I was so excited to learn about each of your OCs. So thank you so much. Now, let's get to it! Our first OC is Ayu from Alyssal. Ayu is an angel that had fallen from heaven and landed down on Earth. She is very innocent and always tries to see the bright side of every situation. She is shocked when she finds out that the world isn't as welcoming and as kind as she had thought. Cute! The character design reminds me of Chief from the anime Chobits. Here are Ayu's lines. Hello, I am Ayu. Could you tell me where I am? Fear not, poor child, for I am. That's funny. My pockets feel lighter somehow. Oh, Heavenly Father, I have come to the realization that Earth is in dire need of your guidance. Perhaps that is the reason I have fallen here. For Ayu's lines, I wanted to go with the slice-of-life comedy approach, where this angel doesn't know how the modern world works. So she falls on Earth and in a really bad city. She asks a little boy nearby where she is and asks to not scare the kid, because stranger danger, right? She tries to tell him not to worry, but she ends up getting pickpocketed in the end. She finds a place to stay for the night and prays to God about her troubles. And with that positivity, she thinks that this might be a sign from God and that this was his plan all along. For her voice, I went with a softer, more soft-spoken tone that, kind of has that innocent vibe to it, but also very, I don't want to say angelic because that's very vague, but very, very breathy, I should say. Our next OC is Elizabeth from Top Tier Waifu. Elizabeth is a cowgirl who is ditzy with lots of energy, and she is also very adventurous. This OC is really cute, and I like that she has cow ears as well. Most of the time when I see artists draw cowgirls on Instagram, they never really put ears on them. Here are Elizabeth's lines. Ever since I was a little calf, I knew I always wanted to seek out adventure. Aww, so cute! Hey there, little guy. Are you friendly? Not friendly! Not friendly! Ugh, these horns are always getting caught on something. So for Elizabeth's lines, in my mind, I was thinking that she came from a very sheltered lifestyle because she grew up on a farm. And those are usually very protected environments. So Elizabeth leaves the farm looking for adventure, and she runs into a bit of trouble along the way, not knowing what creatures are safe to touch and which ones could potentially turn her into steak. For Elizabeth's voice, I wanted to give her a Valley Girl accent to go along with her ditziness, but I also wanted the naivety to shine through because she is new to adventuring. And our next OC is Vivi Bear by Cindercake. Vivi Bear is a cute, fluffy bear that was born from the magical burst of a firework. She loves to make new friends, and her biggest dream is to share her sparkle to those who are kind. She also has a cheerful yet calming demeanor. Man, all of these OCs are just so cute! I don't know how to explain it, but Vivi Bear gives me older vibes, like she isn't a child. She gives me more the vibe that she knows who she is and her purpose, and I love it. Here are Vivi Bear's lines. Share your sparkle to those who are kind. Pink or blue? Why not both? This is so exciting! This makes my fluff sparkle! So going with the cheerful and calming demeanor, I didn't want to go full-on Pinkie Pie for the voice. I went for something that wasn't very energetic, but still had joy in it. I wanted her age to show through her voice, since her appearance could be misleading. Our final OC is Aster from Sunny. Aster is a very shy and introverted succubus who has a boyfriend named Zeno. I love getting OCs that have small descriptions because it lets me play with my imagination a bit and really get into interpretation of the character. So here are Aster's lines. Me and Zeno? Well, we're dating right now, but hopefully one day. Oh, maybe ask me another time. I've come for your life force. But it's okay if you don't want to give it to me. That's okay too. Oh, vampires have it so easy. All they gotta do is call a blood drive for their food. Now, for my interpretation of Aster is that she is a lot like Fluttershy from My Little Pony before she got her confidence. So I'd say season 2 to 3 Fluttershy. Not quite impossibly shy, but more socially shy. So when she is out needing food, she always asks her prey first. If they say no, then she just goes hungry for a few more hours before trying again with another human, until eventually one says yes. For the vampire line, I pictured her venting at home to Zeno about how hard it is at being an introverted succubus when vampires have so many options when it comes to their food. So here she would be more herself and more open. Alright, and that is all the OCs, and I hope the artists who participated liked the voices I provided for their characters. I want to say thank you to them again because it was a total shot in the dark and a decision I had made on a whim, and I know I had to put them on the spot too. So thank you so much for giving me a chance, and I hope I did your OC justice. Until next time, bye!